Every animal in the animal kingdom is in a constant state of competition for survival. The majority of their competition is for food, water, and territory. When areas are invaded, this rivalry may occasionally result in animal fights as a result of territorial disputes. In general, there are two sorts of elephants: Asian elephants and African elephants. Asian elephants are the larger of the two species. Regarding size, African elephants rank first among all other animals on the planet. Elephants typically weigh between 5,000 and 6,000 kilograms, with the largest documented elephant weighing about 24,000 kilograms and standing 13 feet tall. Is it possible to domesticate African elephants? Well, African elephants are split into two subspecies: woodland African elephants and savanna African elephants. While the African elephant has not been domesticated, the Asian elephant has been domesticated for centuries and is an essential part of Asian culture. Now, what does an African elephant consume on a daily basis? The African elephant eats grasses, barks, and bamboo. Among other things, cabbage, bananas, and sugar are among the crops that have been reported to be eaten by them. The African savanna elephants are located in the African savanna zone south of the Sahara Desert. In contrast, forest elephants are found in the deep rainforests of Central and Western Africa. The African savanna elephants are a subspecies of the forest elephant. Do elephants interact with one another? For the most part, elephants live in herds where they establish strong relationships with one another as families. The female, generally the eldest female in the group, is in charge of leading the herd. Elephants are highly clever creatures. Elephants, in fact, are capable of displaying indications of happiness, rage, and sadness in a variety of situations. They also generate a lot of noise, which they employ to frighten away potential predators. Now, how far can the roar of an African lion travel? Panthera leo is a member of the family Felidae. Cats such as tigers, leopards, and cheetahs make up the majority of the members of this family. The lions are the only cats that have a mane on their heads. Lions live in prides, which are groups of 10 to 15 animals. Some of the outstanding facts about lions include their powerful roars, which can be heard up to 8 kilometers away. What is the speed of an African lion? Well, lions can run at incredible speeds of up to 81 kilometers per hour. The incredible speed of the lion allows them to easily grab their prey. According to experts, African lions mainly prey on antelopes, zebras, hippos, and other grazers. A female lion consumes 5 kilograms of meat per day, but a male consumes 7 kilograms or more per day. A wild lion's lifespan can range from 12 to 20 years in the wild, while they can live up to 25 years in captivity. Now, why are male lions referred to as kings of the jungle? The male and female lions have various roles to play in the community. The male lions are in charge of protecting the lion's territory, while the females are in charge of hunting. In order to defend itself against prey, the African lion uses an extremely powerful jaw and razor-sharp fangs. The lion may track its target for several minutes before positioning itself in the most advantageous position to execute an ambush attack on its prey. So, who would prevail in a fight between an African lion and an African elephant? Given that the African elephant is far larger and stronger than the African lion, the elephant is capable of easily killing the lion. It is only through bites that the lion can kill, but it's not strong enough to resist the weight of the elephant's feet on its body. Elephants are well known for being deadly and capable of killing quickly if they're agitated. An elephant's trunk, tusks, and feet may be used to defend itself against any other animal. Elephants have been known to attack humans in locations where they may be encroached upon in most African nations. In a video posted on National Geographic, there were clashes between lions, rhinos, and elephants. Who would come out on top if you put 3 groups of lions against an elephant herd and 2 black rhinoceroses in a battle? Well, you might be surprised by the response. Recently, while shooting in Kenya's Masai Mara National Reserve, a live safari team came across exactly this kind of incident and captured it on camera. Their cameras focused on a pair of adult black rhinos who were defending a calf when they noticed a group of juvenile lions prowling about. Soon after, the rhinos became aware of the threat, and the bull rhino, the larger of the two, rushed at the cats in an attempt to drive them away. Then, from somewhere off-screen, trumpeting can be heard as a wall of 5 adult elephants come on the scene and begins to charge forward. The lions flee, perhaps understanding they're outmatched, while the male rhino stands tall in front of the entire herd of elephants, displaying his dominance. At one point, it appears as though he's going to charge directly into the elephant's trunks. It's a lengthy, stressful moment, and all the while, the lions keep a watchful eye on the activity from a distance, possibly trying to take advantage of the diversion. Eventually, the elephants back down, and the rhinos have the upper hand in the battle. A statement from Susan Ellis, executive director of the International Rhino Foundation, says, quote, "I don't believe the juvenile lions were much of a threat, but the inclusion of the elephants is what altered the entire scenario. It may seem strange that herbivores like elephants and rhinos would act aggressively toward one another, especially while a cabal of card-carrying predators is present in close proximity. However, there are a variety of factors that might account for the commotion. One thing to note is that the elephants appear to be traveling with their calves, which indicates that both species were likely on high alert at the time of the recording. According to Luke Dollar, elephants and rhinos are often too large for lions to attack. This wildlife scientist also serves as program director for the National Geographic Society's Big Cats initiative. However, the young ones are unquestionably a source of fascination. Even more concerning, numerous animals have been found to exhibit what is known as misdirected aggressiveness, in which a bystander suffers the brunt of an animal's annoyance rather than these stimuli that triggered it, according to Joyce Poole, an explorer with National Geographic and co-founder of Elephant Voices, an organization dedicated to researching and campaigning for elephants. Rather than chasing after the cat, the adult elephants turned their attention to Poole one time, she recalls. "It was the most terrifying thing I've ever seen," Poole says of that experience. "If these two huge herbivores aren't exactly friends, you'd think the world's largest land animals would just leave the rhinos to deal with the lions, but that's not the case." However, there are occasions when distinct animals are more closely related than we think. According to Dollar, animals who are at risk of being attacked by a sort of predator must pay attention to one another. When a rhino hoofs or stomps its foot, it's communicating that there's a threat in the area. And I would suppose that the elephants approached because they were aware of the presence of the lions and were interested in convincing them to leave, he speculates. Animals are able to conserve energy because they share the responsibility of staying attentive. The alternative would be for every animal to keep an eye on its surroundings at all times of the day and night, which would leave little time for feeding, resting, or reproducing. The fact is that predators aren't the only animals that might be potentially harmful. Everyone has that one buddy they wouldn't mind hanging out with at the pub, but you have to keep an eye on them to ensure they don't get into a scuffle or create a brawl because they have a bad temper, says Dollar. Well, there you have it, the rhinoceros. Older elephants know the best anti-line moves. The female lionesses of a pride are typically shown in natural history documentaries as the hunters of the pride, whereas the male lions are shown lounging under the shade trees. Nonetheless, males are not to be underestimated. They're capable hunters in their own right, particularly when it comes to bigger prey such as elephants and buffalo. Aside from humans, lions are the only predators capable of killing an elephant in its natural habitat. The males, who are 50% heavier than the females, are particularly well adapted for the job. Normally, it takes 7 lionesses to bring down an elephant, but 2 male lions might accomplish the same feat. Even a single male elephant may be defeated by a group of them. Between 1994 and 1997, Derek Joubert discovered that the lions of Botswana's Chobe National Park were becoming increasingly adept at killing elephants, as evidenced by his observations. His findings included the following. In one remarkable instance, a single male lion charged at practically full speed into the side of an elephant calf, causing the elephant to fall over on its side. Male lions definitely constitute a significant threat. and elder elephants are well aware of this. University of Sussex researcher Karen McComb discovered that elder matriarch females in charge of elephant herds are more alert to the danger posed by lions in their midst. When they hear recordings of male roars, they're more likely to create a protective configuration around themselves. Their knowledge and leadership skills may be able to save the lives of their followers. In the future, McComb predicts that family groups led by older matriarchs will be in a stronger position to make better judgments concerning predatory risks, which would likely result in an increase in the fitness of individuals within the group. When lions hunt elephants, they nearly always target young or female elephants, and they almost always attack from behind the elephant's back. It's necessary for them to loop around the last straggler, jump onto its back and flank away from the trunk, and bring him to the ground. Due to the fact that they never strike from the front, elephants may repel their attacks by gathering in large groups. Adults face outwards, forming a powerful defensive ring of tusks and trunks around the calves in the center of the group. McComb conducted research on 39 elephant groups in Amboseli National Park, which included hundreds of individuals that were all known to McComb personally. As she drove up to the herds and cars, she played the recorded roars of lions, either one or three at a time, and either all males or all females to entice them to approach. She recorded their reactions on video and asked an independent colleague to confirm her interpretations. According to McComb's video evidence, the elephants responded more powerfully to the roars of 3 lions than to the roar of a singleton, which was unexpected. A tight cluster formed around the matriarch, who was more likely to lift her head and ears, and the others were more likely to swiftly close in around her. Even while all of the herds reacted in the same manner, only those with older leaders, 60 years or more, were able to recognize the higher risk posed by the impersonating male roars. They were more likely to congregate. They did so more rapidly, and they were even more likely to violently crowd the lines when they did congregate. With age came increased sensitivity to the sound of male lions, which was felt by the matriarchs and their group as well. The fact that they did not react in the same way to lionesses indicates that they were not growing more anxious as they grew older. Instead, they had honed their ability to distinguish the most hazardous roars from the others. Now, what's the significance of age? Male and female lions definitely have unique roars, but it wasn't until we began to utilize recording equipment and computer software that we began to recognize the distinctions between them. It's hardly unexpected that an elephant would require a lifetime of experience to grasp these subtle clues, given their size. The findings of this trial, according to McComb, are the first to demonstrate that older matriarchs can assist elephant groups in making better judgments in the face of predators. They provide a number of other contributions as well. McComb showed in 2001 that groups with older leaders were better at distinguishing between the sounds of known elephants and the calls of strangers, and they were also better at reacting properly to the calls of strangers. According to Charles Foley's research published in 2008, communities with elder matriarchs are more likely to survive droughts because their leaders are better knowledgeable about where to locate restricted supplies and how to avoid predators. And according to Lucy King's research, matriarchs may even be able to prevent their herds from becoming stung. Elephants will flee if they hear the buzzing of bees, according to King's demonstration. She found that just one group of elephants did not flee when they heard recordings of buzzing during their trials. The group was abnormally tiny and young. It lacked a matriarch, and the oldest member was a 20-year-old guy. It was also exceptionally small and youthful. It's possible that none of the 3 elephants in the group had ever been stung before, and that they didn't know what to do because they didn't have an experienced leader to guide them. Studies such as these demonstrate that matriarchs have a unique function in elephant society, and that their extinction would be extremely detrimental to the species. Unfortunately, because they're among the most physically dominant individuals, matriarchs are frequently targeted by human firearms. In minutes, an elephant herd may be stripped of its lifetime of collected wisdom and experience by a poacher who has snatched his ivory.